Donk Nation, Jackson, Janet's greetings, and welcome to your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some Steelers talk. Had a good bug cap earlier today. I got Laskers and Gingy here to talk about the upcoming game against Green Bay and the Thursday night fake football game disaster that was. Oh my God, we scored a touchdown! Way too soon, Gingy. Way too soon.
Mutant Gingy in the house. Man, it's not even about scoring on that last week's game. It's about letting the other team disrespect you in the middle of the week for no freaking reason. I don't know what Laskers thinks about that.
Laskers, I think what Gingy's talking about here is Chase Brown, who was averaging 2.7 yards per carry coming into the game, averaging, 10 yards a carry against the Steelers? I think that might be where he was going, Laskers.
Yeah, this is Laskers in the house. Yeah, our defense, did they figure out where they are yet? Because they weren't on the field.
They clearly missed the bus. And Gingy, were you talking about the Chase Brown thing, or were you talking about Jamar Chase setting their career high in receptions and targets? Because there was a lot of disrespect. I just want to know which one you want to focus on.
Well, you know what? We can go one of three areas, Donkey. You mentioned a couple of them. We'll start with Chase Brown. That is 9.8 yards a carry on 11
Sorry, I thought
carries.
He was at 10. My bad.
Bro, just did something light. Just broke 100 yards in 11 carries. That's number one. Not even covering what appeared to be not covering Jamar Chase for the entirety of the game when we know that is going to be their number one option. That's disrespect number two. And number three, Joe Flacco, 31 for 47 for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. Did we even
touch him like the whole game?
I think Keanu Benton sacked him once, and that's it. That's all.
To be fair, the only person who touched Aaron Rodgers was Broderick Jones.
I like
that was probably the highlight of my day.
Give that man some youth.
When you say not covering Jamar Chase, are you specifically talking the Steelers with, a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go, and Jamar Chase runs this little shallow cross, and there's not a Steeler within 15 yards of him? Are you talking that play, or are you just talking the whole damn game?
Yeah, let me chime in. Let me chime in real quick. We had 2 sacks.
Let's go!
Keanu Benton had one, and Cam Hayward had a half of one, and TJ Watt had a half of one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But which Jamar Chase are you talking about? The career high in targets and receptions, or just the not covering him on the most important drive of the game?
All the above. Yep, all the above.
So, Laskers, I have to ask you, the Steelers put a big investment in this secondary so that we could cover people. I mean, we paid Darius Slay $10 million a year. We put a second-round draft pick in, I can't think, Joey Porter Jr. We trade for Jalen Ramsey. We make our biggest offseason acquisitions free safeties outside of Aaron Rodgers, obviously, bringing in a free safety to play alongside Deshaun Elliott, who's a really solid player. Why? Watching that game, watching the New England Patriots game, because I'm not going to trash a lot of fake football, but I'm going to look at trends here. The New England Patriot game, we couldn't cover Kayshon Boutte. Jordan Addison went off for Minnesota. Jackson Smith and Jigba ripped up the Steelers. And all those games, outside of the Minnesota one where I mentioned Addison, we couldn't stop the run to the left side, and we have this highly paid secondary that can't cover a number one receiver. Why the hell did we invest in a secondary if they can't cover a number one?
I got nothing for you, and it's kind of getting embarrassing to watch, to be honest.
It is.
I don't know.
And they say that we're not going to trade for a defensive player.
We shouldn't. We should fully invest in trying to do like the Bengals did last year and try to score 40 points a damn game, because our offense is closer to being good than our defense.
Well, they also said that we're not going to trade for a wide receiver, so...
Well, that's stupid. Let's get George Pickens back in here, because the dude's balling down in Dallas. Let's get him back in here. Let's make it a freaking clown show and have some fun. But, Gingy, this recipe of beating the Steelers, off-tackle runs to the left, not outside the tackle, off-tackle zone runs to the left, and throwing the ball to your number one wide receiver, that's beat us for 4 freaking years straight. And it's embarrassing. We can't stop it. We know they're going to run the ball, and you know what happens? 8 yards. What? How? How, Gingy? How does this keep happening?
They certainly, what we thought the week before that we thought we saw that, recovery, a lot of regression. Again, you alluded to it, fake football Thursday night. But boy, we can't make that.
I hear you, but let's look at the two teams the Steelers stopped the run against this year. The Cleveland Browns were playing without 2 of their starting offensive linemen, and the Minnesota Vikings, by the end of the first quarter, were missing 3 of their starting offensive linemen. So the only 2 teams we stopped the run against were teams playing backups. This stuff has to stop. I'm not sure we have the personnel to do it. If you don't have the personnel to do it, the hell can you do but look at the bright spot, man? Gingy, if you want to have a thought on maybe this defense can do it, go have it now. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about what the bright spot of this game was.
Nah, I'm finished with that. Let's keep it moving.
Let's go to the bright spot. Aaron Rodgers had a hell of a game. That offensive line generated, now I know the Bengals are missing Trey Hendrickson, which is like their only defensive player worth a damn, but that offensive line really didn't allow sacks. That offensive line generated run push for Jaylen Warren, and we got to see a pulse from Pat Freiermuth doing something no Steelers tight end has really done, I think, before, and that's 2 touchdowns and 100-plus yards in a game. Pat Freiermuth showing life. The tight end showing life. Unfortunately, when the tight end showed life, none of our wide receivers showed up after the first quarter. I think DK Metcalf had all his yards in the first quarter, and I don't know if we had a wide receiver catch for the rest of the damn game. But that offensive line coming together, maybe a good thing. Aaron Rodgers, he had a bonehead interception where he didn't see the safety drift, but played a pretty solid game. Jaylen Warren looks good. This offense has the potential to be good. I'm not going to say great because they don't move the ball very consistently, but when they move the ball, dude, they score touchdowns. What you think, Laskers?
I'm going to tell you right now, we didn't have a touchdown that wasn't a tight end.
Oh, yeah. Jonnu Smith finally got one on the board, dude. That made me happy. I was good to see that.
Did the wide receivers forget how to catch the ball or play?
So,
I'm not
Laskers,
really sure.
When you go into the season with a number 1 and 4 number 5 wide receivers, much like we frickin' did last year, the results are going to suck. But for some reason, we keep banging our heads against the same stupid board. But on the bright side, Aaron Rodgers makes it look a lot better than the other 2 did last year. It's Gingy, say what you want. At least the offense was fun on Thursday.
Throws a pretty ball, and boy, can still launch it deep for that Hail Mary at the end of the game. Oh, my
God. My son was like, damn, he can throw the ball.
That's pretty far.
That was a heave, dude. That was a heave and a half. It was fake football. Like I said, I'm not going to judge too hard. We'll talk about the trends that we saw, which were not good trends on the defense. But the offense trend here, Gingy, do you think this offensive line is coming together as a unit where it can really play solid football? I know there was some pressure up the middle. I know Zach Frazier had a holding call that took back a penalty, which, by the way, I don't know if you agree with this. My turning point of the game was that specific drive where the Zach Frazier hold led to them not getting a touchdown, and then a 4th and 1 false start leads to them going for a field goal instead. And then just after that, it felt like Cincinnati just took control of the game after that series of unfortunate events by the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Yeah, that sounds pretty likely to me, Donkey. Overall, wasn't too bad. One iffy pick, one bad pick from Aaron Rodgers. Really liked what I saw from Jaylen Warren. Established on the ground. 7.9 a carry. That's what we need. Now, granted, that is against the Bengals run defense.
Yeah,
so maybe that's
Bengals
just
without Trey
average.
Hendrickson. Bengals without Trey Hendrickson.
So that is to be expected, but it's better it's seeing it there than not.
Yeah, he's rushed well the last 2 or 3 games, really. Gingy, which interception do you think was the bad one? I'm just curious which one was the bad one to you.
The one that was actually caught and not the one that was juggled out of bounds.
Okay. Yeah, not the one where DK forgot to catch the football and got it stolen. The one where Aaron Rodgers By the way, if you look at that play design, give Cincy credit because they did something the Steelers never can do. They disguised the coverage. Like, if you watch it, Aaron Rodgers sees the left side of the field safety come down into the box. Looks like he's jumping the tight end. But what they did is they shifted the other safety behind. Aaron Rodgers never sees the second safety, throws the ball right into double coverage. Terrible decision by Rodgers. Good play design by the Bengals. And all I'm sitting here thinking is, man, it'd be a hell of a time to have a defensive coordinator who could draw up some plays for the highest paid defense in the league. But here we are.
Any other walk?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. You know that Mike Tomlin does not like people who question Mike Tomlin's MO. And if anyone thinks Mike Tomlin's not the defensive coordinator of this team, you're just kind of kidding yourself because
he's the
Terrell
defense
Austin
and the offensive coordinator.
And Terrell Austin is clearly just the figurehead of this team. Any other thoughts from you two on anything cool you saw this week in football or any bad things that you saw, I guess is the way we'll go with it.
That's the bad thing about losing on Thursday night, Donkey. It taints your vision of the whole weekend.
Yeah, I really didn't even watch very many games this weekend, I'll be honest.
See what I'm saying?
I will tell you full-heartedly, I think the Kansas City Chiefs have the best-looking offense they've had in 5 years. That team looks scary again. I don't know how you stop them from moving the football right now. That team is rolling, and that's not something I wanted to see. Jaguars came back to reality, but hey, let's talk about these Indianapolis Colts. Another really good game from them. Is it time to start putting them in that elite category, Gingy?
Oh, boy. What is it about their... Have you watched any of their games? Are they particular... Is Danny Dimes just executing at a higher level than anybody else in the AFC, or what?
Receivers are open because they run the ball so damn well. And everybody will tell you, when you run the ball well, it makes the game easy. Do you remember the year the Giants were actually good and Danny Dimes had Saquon absolutely going off? It's like that, man. The throws are there. They're easy. The offense is easy reads. There's not a whole lot of complexity to it. And Danny Dimes is a better athlete than you give him credit. And I think the Colts have told him, hey, when it's not there, just tuck it and go. And it's really alleviated a lot of the risk portion of what has challenged him in his career. And they play good defense. They set themselves up well. They have a game plan. And I've said this before. Look at all these quarterbacks who have failed under so many systems and found the right spot. Sometimes you're not going to have an elite guy. You just have to have a guy match the system. Nick Foles with that magic run in Philly, with Carson Wentz as well in that Super Bowl run in Philly. Danny Dimes seems to be that guy who just fits that system there so well with the Colts.
Makes sense. Very interesting. Sure, it certainly turned out to be maybe a different AFC South than what folks had predicted initially.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the Houston Texans everybody loves them, but everybody's realizing, wait, if you don't have any offensive linemen because you trade them all away, your team's probably going to suck because your quarterback's going to get murdered. And, well...
There we are.
Yep. Nothing else to say about that. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think I had any
he's definitely
crazy...
getting murdered.
I don't think I had any crazy notes this week from any of the games that I watched. Let me just flip over my chart real quick. Oh, I had some crazy notes from the Steelers. So... Last year, the Steelers, no opening drive touchdowns all year. We already have 3 this season. I thought that was pretty cool and shows the improvement with Aaron Rodgers, right? And maybe the most scary one, we have now played 56 consecutive games where the Steelers have had 7 points or less in the first quarter. And if you go back to the last time we scored more than 7 points, it's because Minkah Fitzpatrick had a pick 6 in the first quarter. Like... How? Now, albeit we ended up with a 10-point lead at some point in this game, but how the hell have we been that inept at offense in an offensive league for this long and not had the wheels fall off this franchise, Laskers?
I really have no answer for you on that one because we've been bitching about it for, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You know, it's just...
Since the Killer
I got-
Bees. I think it's
I
fair
got
to say
nothing
since the
for
Killer
you.
Bees.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. I mean, I really don't. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how we've maintained a 500 team without an offense that can score in the first quarter.
I don't even want to say it's a kudos to our defense because where it has to be. It feels like you have to give a little bit of a kudos here because the defense had to have been doing something right in there. And at some point, the Steelers had to do something to get better. You guys ready to move on and talk about the upcoming Sunday night, some fun football against the Packers?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right. Pittsburgh versus Green Bay. Steelers are 17-20 all time in the series, 9-7 at home, 8-13 when they're playing at Green Bay. The biggest win was Green Bay by 47 points in 1941 and 1933. The Steelers won by 31 points in 1948. Longest streak, Green Bay won 9 straight from 1933 to 46. Pittsburgh won 4 straight from 75 to 86. Current streak, of course, is the Steelers winning in November of 2023. That's a 23-19 game. The Steelers have, in fact, won 6 straight home games against the Packers, dating back to 1970 was the last time the Steelers lost at home to Green Bay. Since I've been alive, these are the scores of the Steelers' wins at home. 27-20, 37-36, 31-28, and 23-19. So, typical Steelers one-score wins.
Yikes.
But kind of a little crazy streak there, Gingy. Not losing to the Packers since 1970 in Pittsburgh.
That's a heck of a run. I did not know that. That's a good little factoid.
All of 6 games played. Of course, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have the most devastating defeat against the Steelers in this series history. Everybody knows what I'm talking about if you follow either of these franchises. And it's about time that Aaron gets a little bit of he doesn't want to call it revenge because they didn't do him super dirty. But I want to call it revenge for me that Aaron Rodgers wins me a game against this team because he still hurts me, Gingy. He still hurts me.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Now, Laskers, this Packers team comes in with a tie because no one's allowed to win the Micah Parsons trade, apparently. They just have to tie each other so the trade looks even, right? Yep. Let's talk about the person who was a part of that trade. Micah Parsons, is he going to be the biggest factor in this football game? Or do you have someone else in mind that you really want to watch?
I really hope not. I hope TJ Watt shows out and, make sure that Micah Parsons is not the X factor in this game.
That's fair. Gingy, last week, what did we start with? Offense or defense when we broke down the opposing team?
I think it was defense.
I think you're right. So let's go ahead and break down this Green Bay Packers offense. Jordan Love, big arm quarterback, makes a few mistakes, gives you some area to really expose maybe, but also just the ability to throw the ball on a dime's been good. Josh Jacobs, big, powerful running back, type of guy who just absolutely torches the Steelers. You don't believe that? Look at the Seattle game with Walker, or just look at the New England game with Ramondre Stevenson. Big backs, left side, give them problems. We look at their wide receiving core, of course, Romeo Doubs, good player out there. Matthew Golden, rookie, looking pretty good. I believe Devontae Wicks isn't going to play in this game, so a little bit of a break for the Steelers. You get into tight ends, and is Musgrave or Kraft their number one? I don't even remember, but both of them solid-ish players. Nothing to write home about. Offensive line there, good unit, not a great unit. The type of unit that the Steelers, with their investment, should take advantage of. But at this point, I'm not sure that's a certainty. Gingy, it really comes down to the Steelers are a team that they need the other team to make mistakes in order to look good, is what it seems like. Do you see them being able to do that in this Packers game?
I do, Donkey. I do being able to see them create maybe some action. on the defensive side of the ball. I think that defense is going to be angry and hungry coming off of a 10-day rest, not a full bye week, but kind of a half of one, and really going to be able to bounce back and cause some disruptions for the Packers offense. What I'd like to see.
I really hope that's true. And Laskers, give me a couple players that you're looking for on the Steelers side to make a difference this week in this game.
Well, I'm going to actually chime in and say Devontae Wicks is 100% out. The biggest ones for me is we got to get pressure on Love. I mean, we have to get pressure. If we don't get pressure, we're screwed. So Cam Hayward and it looks like TJ is going to play. So those two got to get pressure on Love. I mean, otherwise, I don't see how we win.
I'm going to flip the script there. I don't even think that's where it's at. I think the middle linebackers, whoever the hell they are, need to make tackles this week. Because, man, Patrick Queen in that Cincy game, in that New England game, he's been the worst player on this team, on this field. He just cannot make plays, can't make tackles. You can't be doing that against Green Bay, who wants to establish a run. Let's flip to the defensive side of the ball, going against the Steelers offense, obviously. I mean, is it pretty easy where you start, right? Micah Parsons is the guy you absolutely have to talk about. But don't forget there's guys like Rashawn Gary, who was first-round pick in there. Van Ness, I think, is missing this game, which is good for the Steelers.
Yeah, Van Ness is out.
Okay, so that's good for the Steelers. So there's going to be a lot of rotating depth guys in there, I guess, for Green Bay. But still, they have the two I just mentioned are that's a pretty good front to just go out there with to begin with. Parsons, Gary, really solid guys. Micah Parsons, arguably right now the best, most influential defensive player in the league. Absolutely wreaking havoc on everybody. You get to the middle of the thing, you got another guy who's like Patrick Queen, Quay Walker, athletic guy, can go sideline to sideline, but one week he'll be your best player. The next week he's the dude who can't make a single tackle for you. I know he's driving a lot of Packers fans crazy, but Quay Walker's that type of guy who can make a lot of plays in there. And, of course, when you get to the secondary, I mean, Javon Bullard out there at safety is a pretty good one. Xavier McKinney as well. Their corners, I'm not sure a whole lot about their corners. I don't know who's playing really good there. I don't know who's playing bad. I know they have the Hobbs guy, I think, starts for them. I'm not even sure they're starters at corners. I know they have solid safeties. The corners have played well enough. But when you play the Packers and when they've played good, it's obviously all about that pass rush. And Laskers, it's all about stopping Micah Parsons wherever he is lined up on the field.
Oh, 100%. The offensive line needs to stop him wherever he's lined up. If not, we are in trouble. If he makes it through 2-3 times, it's going to be bad.
Packers only have 2 interceptions as a whole team, so hopefully that's not something we let them continue with, or actually something we make sure continues. There's not many interceptions. But Gingy, putting too much effort into Micah Parsons, have 5.5 sacks in a game, can leave you open to not paying enough attention to Rashawn Gary at 5.5 sacks a game. Are you worried at all that the Steelers over game plan to stop Parsons and let Gary go off and have a game?
The Steelers are going to follow the Steelers standard. I don't know if they're going to.
Is that a good thing?
Well, does that mean that they're even going to game plan? I mean, they're going to have to game plan for Micah Parsons, right? But what are they going to do about it? That dude's everywhere. He drops back, he pushes forward. What I will say is of the utmost importance is the big picture. Donkey, it's not Aaron Rodgers getting hit just this game. We've got to keep him upright for the duration. Right? So we cannot let guys like Micah Parsons have 2-sack, 3-sack days. We have to get that under control for not only this game, but for the big picture as well.
That's absolutely fair to say. And Gingy just hit me right there with the Donkey. You're talking about all these things like you're looking behind your back while the fist is about to hit you in the face. Did you forget the Steelers don't game plan for their opponents? They just run what they do. Like, touche, dude. I've totally missed that one, and I deserve that. I'm normally the one who calls that out. Oh, that's That's a good one. All right, it's kind of like I don't know if y'all heard Terrell Austin talking this week, but my goodness gracious, man, I don't know if that dude has a clue what's going on the football field. I don't really want to throw him out. Although quote of the week, let's be honest here, Mike Tomlin gets asked about the turf at Acrisure Stadium and goes, "I don't even know who cuts the grass in my house." Like, come on, man, like. To be the guy who doesn't even know who cuts your own lawn. All right, Mike Tomlin, I see you there. That was my quote for the week. I
think he might be
appreciated
being
that.
a little facetious, as it is quite tough to defend.
Hey, Gingy, I don't know if you know this, but Mike Tomlin was really proud of the defense for the one stop they got in the second half, okay? Do you remember that? He made sure to point it out. Hey, we did get a stop in the second half. Well, congratulations, dude. I'm proud of you for one time stopping the opposing team. Why don't you try to get a 3 and out once in a while, you know? Why don't you try to let our offense build some momentum while throwing the other team's offense under, I don't know, the proverbial bus? I just feel like the biggest thing holding this team back, and I don't know, we'll go to Laskers first on Gingy. I feel the biggest thing holding this team back is the complacency of the coaching staff. This no fire, it just doesn't feel like the team's ramped up when it needs to be ramped up. And at this point, it's happened so many times, I can't look at anything but say the coaching staff needs to do better, needs to get this team more prepared. Having 0 Thursday night football wins in 7 tries on the road against AFC North opponents is unfreaking acceptable, man. This coaching staff needs to come out and show to me this week that there can be a fire, they can show tenacity, and they can show the ability to game plan a victory, Laskers.
Well, everyone knows I'm not a Tomlin fan, so I am 100% in agreement with you. I think Tomlin is too lackadaisical. I know
lackadaisical.
Exactly.
We got you.
Yeah,
we got you.
And I don't know. It pisses me off because we just don't show up when we need to. We play down to our opponents.
Gingy, it's been so long. Even I feel even those black and gold glasses have to feel this way at this point, right?
Yeah, Donkey, every once in a while, it's like, I don't know. Every once in a while, they prove you wrong, right? Like 1 out of 7 times, and that's like the gambler's method of keeping you coming back, Donkey. It's like a slot machine, right? Every once in a while, you win. But for the majority of the time...
After you put in $50, we'll give you a $40 jackpot.
It kind of feels like that at this point, but you know what cures all that, Donkey?
Winning the Super Bowl.
Winning football games in general. Let's take it 1 week at a time. This Packers team, there's going to be a lot of fanfare around this. We're talking about a primetime game, right? We're talking about the soap opera and the shenanigans of Aaron versus Jordan Love, right? Teacher versus student, right? All the Green Bay connections and yada yada. I want to see Steelers show out. So they don't do very well on Thursday night games, right? But they traditionally do well in prime. I'd like to see recovery in that way if we're talking about setting in regards to the momentum of this football game.
Yeah, that would be great to see. Any thoughts from you guys before we cash or trash some things?
We're going to the bank, Donkey. Let's cash them in.
Yeah, let's bring it to the bank. Let's crush it in, as Gingy likes to say.
I'm hyped, Donkey, for cash or trash. Don't leave me hanging, brother.
Let's start on the defense because I want the offense to be the fireworks. Because at this point, I have faith in the offense, so I want to end there. Let's go to the defense. Gingy, let's start with you. Micah Parsons is outsacked by T.J. Watt. Cash or trash?
Gingy's thinking hard.
We lost him. He's gone to the nether.
Oh boy.
All right, last.
I'll cash that one in.
All right. Thank you. Till we get Gingy back, we're going to have Lasker's cash or trash everything. Lasker's cash or trash. The Steelers will force 2 turnovers from Jordan Love.
Ooh. I'm going to trash that one.
All right, that's fair. Let's keep moving here. What should we do next? So, Laskers, defensive line, we talked about them stopping them. Josh Jacobs' big back's been running good. The Steelers hold Josh Jacobs under 80 yards rushing, cash or trash.
I'm going to trash it. I'm hoping for under 100 is what I'm hoping for.
Me too. Gingy, you back yet?
Okay, I don't know what's going on. The headset, the audio. I was so hyped in the audio. It's like I think my energy overwhelmed the headset. Okay,
you broke the system. All right,
I heard
Gingy,
something about Micah Parsons, and then it cut out on my first question.
It was Micah Parsons versus T.J. Watt for the sacks, and Lasker says T.J. Watt's winning the battle.
Yes, I cashed in the T.J. Watt winning the battle. Give me 2+ for TJ.
Nice. All right, Gigi, we have 2 more defensive ones. We'll end them both with you here. The defense will hold the Packers under 20 points. Cash or trash?
Ooh. Trash it in. Not over 20, but not over 30. Hint.
And the last one for it here, Gingy. The Steelers secondary will hold every Green Bay Packer receiver under 60 yards, cash or trash.
Every single receiver, huh?
Mm-hmm. No one breaks 60 yards.
Wait, does that include tight ends?
Yes. Anyone catching the football will not break 60 yards.
Why not? Cash it.
All right, good to see. Let's go to the offense. Let's start it with Laskers. Aaron Rodgers throws 3 touchdowns against his old team, cash or trash.
I'm going to cash that one in.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I would too.
Gingy, Jalen Warren keeps the good vibes going. He breaks 100 yards rushing, cash or trash.
I don't know about that. I think that the star of the show is going to be more centered around Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. Trash that. Not
right.
too.
Laskers, Pat Freiermuth is alive. He goes over 50 yards with a touchdown. Cash or trash?
I'm going to trash that because I don't think he really is alive. I think he somehow figured out how to play last week, and then I think he's going to forget again this week.
Gingy, if you're still here, it sounded like you might have broke your headset again, but if you're still here, DK Metcalf gets back on that touchdown train, and he catches a touchdown this week. Cash or trash?
Cash it in. Let's see it. Big play DK.
And Laskers, the last one of the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers will score over 24 points. Cash or trash?
I'll cash that one in.
Nice. Like to see it. All right, Laskers, here's your spot. Give us some closing thoughts on what you expect to see from this football game.
I expect this to actually be a very close game, and I'm not feeling that the Steelers are going to pull this one out. We kind of struggle in prime time, so I'm not feeling it, but I hope we pull it out.
Gingy, closing thoughts.
Oh, you know what it's going to be. I think the Steelers are going to pull it out in prime time. Big showing from Aaron Rodgers in the offense, and the defense coming in it with enough to get it done.
I think you're going to see a slow, methodical, boring football game. I'm going to be honest with you here, where defense is what takes center stage. I feel the Packers are missing some weapons, but I feel like they're going to do a better job establishing the run than the Steelers. I feel the Steelers are going to struggle stopping the run. And offensively, I think the Steelers are going to move the ball better than we think. But I feel like the red zone is going to be the bugaboo in this game. Might be giving up a little bit of where I'm headed for it. But, man, it just... Not sure I have the confidence I had before after watching the last few games. Now let's get to some picks here. We have what other games do we have? We got
Bears,
Chicago
Ravens.
going to Baltimore, Laskers. Who'd you like there?
Give me the Ravens because I think Lamar's going to be back.
Lamar was limited in practice, but he did show up, so he might play. Gingy,
He was a full participant today.
Okay.
Yeah, if Lamar's in there, give me the Ravens.
Give me Chicago because you're all missing the fact that they're still missing 4 or 5 starters on defense. I feel like this is just not the year to be a Baltimore fan. They lost a lot of talent and they just cannot stay healthy. As we roll down a little farther, we got Cleveland going to the surprisingly good Patriots. Give me New England. Gingy, who'd you like in that one?
New England.
Laskers.
Give me New England in that one too.
And then the only time I'm going to pick an AFC North team this week, we got the Jets going to the Bungles. Dude, I can't bet on the Jets at all. That team's terrible. Give me Cincinnati, Laskers.
Give me Cincinnati. I'm going for 0-16 Jets this year.
Laskers, they play 17 games now.
Oh, okay, 0-17.
Yeah, there you go. Gingy.
Give me the Bengals.
Ooh, we're all on that train. Then we get to Sunday night. The
wanted it, though.
4-1-1 Packers coming to the 4-2 Steelers. Laskers, give me a team, give me a score, give me an X factor.
31-28 Packers over the Steelers. X factor for the Steelers is going to be TJ Watt with 1.5 sacks.
Fair. Gingy, what you got?
Oh, boy. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-24. And we know how these 3-point situations come down, don't we? We're going to see Chris Boswell with money in the bank at the end of the game.
Haven't lost to the Packers since 1970. Man, it's hard to go against some good stats like that, but I feel it's a 24-20 Green Bay Packers win, with the X factor being, I think this offensive line gave us a lot of hope, but I think Micah Parsons eats their lunch, and I think that's what's going to happen. I hope for good, but man, this Packers team's built like all the teams that beat the Steelers. Power running, decent defense, and a wide receiver who can maybe light it up a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I hope for good things. Obviously wishing for the Steelers win. Laskers, do you have a shout out for this week for anything going on?
No, I actually don't.
Gingy.
You know, I know it's a loss. And for that, I will have a bittersweet shout out to a guy who I will not provide me any splash for the rest of the season when we have become accustomed to it over the years. Captain on special teams, Miles Killebrew, down with the knee injury for a year. Shout out to that guy for giving it his all. But really going to miss him in one of those late season special teams activities, Donkey, that usually win us at least one football game in November or December.
Yeah, he's been amazing. That's a great shout out to say. It's time for Ben Skowronek and Bruner. You know, those two guys now are the guys you look at. Maybe Baby Hayward, you know. Those guys are the guys you look for. My shout out has to be, I've called this dude out so many times, and yeah, there was a 3rd or 4th down throw that he could have made an amazing catch on, but he didn't. That ended up hurting the Steelers. But man, Pat Freiermuth came alive, had a great game, showed the ability to get open and do stuff, and really showed that sitting on the bench for forever isn't at least messing with his mental too much. I appreciate to see that. I've called that dude out every time I thought he did something bad. So, you know what? He gets a shout out in the absolute positive way. Way to have the type of game you're expected to have, I guess, with the way this offense is built and the way he was predicated into it. And paid like this is what we need, this is what we should get. Absolute great game from Pat Freiermuth. Absolutely deserves it. He's really one of the few people that played flawlessly in that game. So we'll go out. We'll put him out there. I'll let you know I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey. Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey Gingers, where you get this awesome content. Be sure to tune in. I don't know how early we're going to do it next week, but we'll probably do it before I get on an airplane. So we'll see how that works out. I'll get the pics from everybody, get it all to you. As we're going to be on topic, you'll get a great bug cap next week. Not next week. 2 weeks from now, you'll get a great bug cap after the Colts game. But Laskers, let them know about this Green Bay game and let them know where to find you.
I'm Laskers everywhere, and I really hope that somehow we can figure out how to win this game. I'm not feeling extremely confident, but hey, if we can do it, let's go, Aaron Rodgers. Let's beat your old team. Gingy to you.
Me and Gingy in the house. We hanging out. We making content. We talking football. Holy smoke, Steelers fans. All right, coming off of a loss, but we had ourselves a nice day.
Hold on, Gingy. We forgot to mention, if Aaron Rodgers wins this game, he'll be one of, 5 quarterbacks to have beaten every other NFL franchise, or one of 5 players? We should put that out there in the universe. He needs to make history. Let him know, Gingy.
And with that, Donkey, let that be the wind that propels those towels forward here. Gax and Jennets, ladies and gentlemen, wave them if you got them. Here we go, Steelers.